Here we are, live from Pakistan. Live from Pakistan, the peace talks are ongoing. And we'll begin this week, Saturday. April 11th, Peace Talk Day. We are in Pakistan. We're going to begin with a real puzzle here, some trivia. You know, here on Weekend News Wind Down, we always got something new, always something hot, something red hot. And we got a question for you. This is the game. Who said it? A terrorist or American government? Quote, begin quote. A whole civilization will die tonight. That's right. A whole civilization will die tonight. That's right, die. They're all dead. Civilians, women, children. Everybody dead. They're all just dead. They dying. Is it A, Osama Hussein bin Laden? B, Saudi Hussein Arabia? C, Ayatollah Hussein Khamenei? Or is it D, American president? Okay, we got leaving a few more. Few more ticks on the clock to get your answers in. A, O Hussein, B, S Hussein, C, A Hussein, or D, American president. That's it. Get your final answers in. This is a tough one. And here they are. Here are the answers. They've all said that. They've all said those beautiful words. They've all said those beautiful words. Here we are. Here are all the winners. Osama Hussein, Saudi Hussein, Ayatollah Hussein, and the American president, the tremendous, the amazing civilization destroyer. That's right. Prizes coming up. So all the winners. You're already won. You're on Weekend News Wind Down. Let's go. It's all the way live, 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 live. It is all the way live. It's all the way live. We are here in Pakistan for the peace talks. And let's get to the news. Let's get to the news. Here's the news of the week. News of the week. There's a cover page of the journal, the trusted news source, the last one remaining. There's all the other reliable, trustworthy, inspirational news like Infowars. Infowars. Oh, Megyn Kelly. Tucker, he's a little kooky. Still like the guy, he's a little kooky though. He's a little kooky. Those guys are all kooky. They got low IQ. But I still trust the journal. Journal's still okay for me. Those other guys. Oh, here's some great news, baby. Artemis 2 crew returns from historic moon trip. Inflation hits 2-year high. Oh, we don't like that. We hate that. U.S.-Iran trade jabs on eve of talks. Tehran missile threat is still strong, even after all of that. Trump is already promising pardons to staff. Oh, gosh. Masters, next time for golf. I don't know anything about that. President scraps the China playbook. What? I thought we were tough. Let's see, maybe we can get a roundup of what's happening. What's news? Business and finance consumer prices surged 3.3% in March. Versus a year earlier. Conflict is inflicted a new toll on U.S. commercial construction, raising costs and risking project delays. No good. But stocks notched at best weekly gains of the year, baby. Airlines, airports, and fuel suppliers, oh my, are warning that Tuesday ceasefire deal in the war with Iran, even if it holds, won't solve the jet fuel crisis. Nike's chief innovation officer is leaving after not innovating too much. Porsche car deliveries fell 15%. Large banks are preparing to offer a new way for investors to bet against managers of private credit funds. CarMax will add 2 members to its board. Let's get the worldwide breakdown. The standoff between US and Iran is intensifying ahead of meeting with Tehran. Iran still has thousands of ballistic missiles in arsenal it could use by retrieving launchers from underground storage. Chimp has repeatedly promised top officials pardons. Person arrested after allegedly throwing a Molotov cocktail at OpenAI CEO. In fact, actually, the guy who threw it asked OpenAI how to create it. Did OpenAI? How do I create a Molotov cocktail? and what's the CEO's? And what's his home? Where's his home? Chinese leader Xi welcomed the leader of Taiwan's main opposition party for a rare meeting in Beijing. Former Russian Deputy Defense Minister Pavel Popov is now playing hockey. Charity co-founded by Prince Harry in Africa. Prince Harry, telling his mother, Princess Diana, sued him for defamation after he stepped down as patron last year. What a way to hold your mom's legacy. That was quick. Gas prices are eating into American paychecks. Hourly earnings down. Prices down. Over the same time, monthly change in real weekly earnings. Uh-oh. 2026, golden era, not too good. Not too good. Consumer prices in March rose fastest in history in their fastest annual pace in 2 years, thanks to the Iran war, which has sent gasoline prices skyrocketing above $4 a gallon. That's right, 4. Inflation rose 3.3%. We got some graphics here. We got some charts. Consumer price index for select items, gasoline up 20%. Core CPI only up 2.2%. Everything is up. Eggs are down. Prescription drugs, okay. Making deals. Everything else though is up. Oh gosh. Mideast conflict is taking a toll on construction. How so? Private construction spending. Whoa, data centers up and away. Wow, but slowing down, slowing down. Consumer sentiment hits new low. We got to get some good news. February factory orders held steady in February. That's some good news. Family getaways along the bayou, river bayou. Family getaways along bayou uprooted. Homeowners fight of Louisiana utilities move to abandoned vacation enclaves. That ain't right. Trump's amazing arts include gold winged figure. That's exactly what America needs. The winged figure's torch would say, "One nation under God, and liberty and justice for all." The plan indicates the structure would stand between the Lincoln Memorial in the east and Arlington National Cemetery towards the west. Towering figure, later Lady Liberty like torch and crown, flanked by 2 eagles and guarded by 4 lions. 4 beautiful lions, American lions. Beautiful American lions. Probably the best lions. Democrats see a political opening. I don't think you guys have a chance other than being the not Trump and the Trump guys staying home. The crew splashes down. Look at that kid. He's excited for America. Look at that. Great. Oh, yeah. Look at that. There's hope for the future. Iran has time on its side in U.S. talks. Oh, how so? Pakistani Rangers on Friday stood guard near the expected venue of the weekend US-Iran talks in Islamabad. Oh my God, Iran has time on its side in US talks. Energy crisis pushes Trump to compromise, but Tehran may overplay its hand. It's horrible. Look at this guy. What a career politician. This guy he's not a star. You can't be the president. You can't be the president. He's already look. Vance is the point man to end the war he didn't want. He's already taken on this role, probably raised his hand. You haven't heard much from him in the past couple weeks. He doesn't want to look like a hypocrite. He's already thinking about the campaign trail. He's gonna say, "Oh, because there won't be any kind of real statement or anything out there on JD Vance during this time, except that he went to Pakistan to try to make the peace deal." Oh, oh God, we can see right through you, JD. JD X-ray Vance, because we can see right through you. That's a good one. Man. X-ray Vance. The US led era of free seas is unraveling. Whoa, here comes the Pope criticizing the MAGA people, the US war language. Oh, you don't, so Pope, Leo, um, you don't think that there's a place maybe for, I don't know, a beautiful song like, like this one here, inspired by Pete Hegzet's beautiful words? Day. Yeah. Oh, come on, Pope Leo. You don't think there's room in this world for beautiful words like that? Pontiff criticized U.S. war. Orban sees re-election hopes fading. This guy, oh my God, J.D. Vance went there to support him and all that. Ay, ay, ay. Wait, what's happening with the Trump's new China playbook? Wait, let's go back to this from the first page. Pentagon officials last fall briefed President Trump on a draft of a bureaucratic defense strategy document. It framed China the same way it had for a decade, as the top security threat facing the U.S. Trump balked and ordered his Pentagon deputy to rewrite it as a love letter. He sent a love letter instead. President Trump seeks a stable peace, fair trade, and respectful relations with China. Whoa, what a wimp. Oh my God. Trump, first golden era, characterized China as the most consequential U.S. adversary. Now, the second golden era is don't rock the boat. Since Trump met with Xi and fell in love uh, in the South Korean city of Busan in October, the administration has paused hefty tariffs planned on Beijing's most prized industries, abandoned plans to penalize Chinese companies determined to be security risks to the U.S., curbed investigations into Beijing-linked hackers, waved through Chinese investments in the U.S. with little scrutiny, and told officials to tone down their comments on China. Current and former U.S. officials familiar with the changes said, "Are you kidding me? This dude went soft. Whoa. Totally dramatic reversals." The dramatic reversals, which have alarmed some of Trump's own national security aides, are in part aimed at laying the groundwork for Trump's May meeting with Xi. According to current and former U.S. officials, Trump's advisors had initially prepared for a second term full of tough actions on China, recalling a first term president who had declared Beijing antithetical to U.S. values and interests, kicked some Chinese companies out of the U.S., and oversaw aggressive intelligence operations against the country. The second term did begin with tariffs on China that briefly reached 150%. Then, in response, Beijing invoked a nuclear option, but not like the Iranian nuclear option, because they got obliterated. Last April, Beijing shut down most exports of rare earths, mineral deposits essential for high-tech applications, threatening U.S. production of everything from electric vehicles to missiles, jet fighters, data centers, and submarines. China mostly controls the refining, separation, and global export of rare earths. I just wanna celebrate rare earth. The hit. China's willingness to sever such a critical trade tie caught Trump's team off guard. Oh my God. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and others appealed to Trump to walk back the tariffs and dial down the trade war to get the minerals flowing again. Against a president who prides himself on his deal making, China often appears to be prevailing. China stood up to Trump with rare earth, and the U.S. backed down. Whoa. There's really mutual damage control now. What the heck? What is going on? The war with Iran has further weakened the U.S. negotiating position with Beijing, with Trump deciding amid the sprawling conflict to delay his first of what was to be 4 meetings with Xi this year. The postponement of the April meeting gives Trump's aides and cabinet secretaries who were behind in preparations more time, but also diminishes expectations for substantive concessions from Beijing. Among the expected requests from the U.S., large quantities of purchases by China, specifically for orders of soybeans, Boeing aircraft, and American energy exports to slash the persistent bilateral trade deficit. The request would largely reset the trade relationship to the status quo from 2024 without significant U.S. gains. Oh my gosh. What is going on here? What's happening to us? Now I have to start bringing out the game show sound effects. Some China watchers have described the Trump administration's increasingly dovish posture as a tactical truce rather than a strategic shift. Oh, come on. That's weak. Our lead over China will atrophy. Long-term cost of that is going to be astronomical. Wrong, wrong. White House scary woman, Caroline Leavitt, said China has already resumed some purchases of soybeans thanks to Trump's trade negotiations. Nice. All right, that's good. Good. The seeds of the reversal appeared early last year. Trump unveiled the America First investment policy, but the president later decided he didn't want to pursue many of the restrictions, and the directive was quickly forgotten. Last April, Trump fired David Feith, along with other advisors who were viewed as China hawks. The council's tech and National Security Directorate, which had been the nerve center for coordinating administration actions on tech in China, was dismantled. What the heck? The removal of national security officials who supported tough export controls on American chips opened the way for NVIDIA to sell its chips to China, which Washington had previously restricted to avoid helping further China's AI industry. Oh my God! It's like we're giving them all the tools to beat us. Up in the ante in early October, weeks before Trump's Busan meeting with Xi, China upped the ante with additional restrictions on rare earths and semiconductors. President trade official Jameson Greer prepared a range of actions for the U.S. to respond to China's violations. These included restrictions on chemicals, commercial aerospace, and aviation tech. But Trump told them no. He wanted his meeting in Busan to go smoothly. Some Chinese officials have largely concluded that Trump's aides are responsible for rushing through export controls without the president's sign off. You always get the sign off. What's the matter with you? The trade truce does provide breathing room from Beijing's crippling export controls so Trump can focus on reducing U.S. supply chain risk and tech entanglements with China. After Busan, Trump tapped his go-to guy, Stephen Miller, to coordinate China-related actions proposed from different parts of the government. The White House cautioned Republican leadership of the Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs to tone down their rhetoric after legislation that blocks certain U.S. investment in China was titled Fight China. There's some confusion for sure. The Pentagon added in February Alibaba to a blacklist of Chinese military contractors and immediately retracted it. It hasn't yet been re-released. A Defense Department spokesman said the department took the list down because it may require updates and will publish a new list after making changes. In a speech this year in Detroit, Trump called China great. Make China great again. He said he welcomed its factories in the U.S. as a means to create jobs while circumventing his tariffs on foreign oils. Let China come in. Let them in. Let them in. Let them in. Justice Department tackles the NFL's media universe. Watching sports on television is more annoying than ever. I agree with that. It's like commercials. Oh my god, commercials. Nonstop. Oh, my brother sent me this thing. What the heck is this? MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA plus. Oh, they're coming. Oh, they're coming for when Trump is gone. Oh, they're coming for us. A socialist Canadian lawmaker drew gales of mockery for showing just how woke she is by casually dropping the acronym MMIWG2SLGBT. Boom, 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 boom. L MMIIW MMIWG2 SLGBTQ QQIA. Leah Gazan uncorked the new ultra lefty term while bemoaning $7 billion too. When the budget was released, I was shocked to find that Prime Minister Carney is cutting $7 billion and leaving it behind. They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIWG2SL GBTQIA. Let's see if you were wondering what the 16 characters in MMIWG2SL GBTQQIA plus. What does it stand for? What does it mean? What does it mean? Missing and murdered indigenous women, girls, and two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, 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 missing, murdered, indigenous, women, girls, two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, asexual, A-A-I-E-I-O-U-A-I-I-E, A-E-I-O-U, sexual, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, M-M-I-W, B2SL, B, B, E, U, I, A, E, I, O, U. sexual. A-E-I-O-U, sexual. Oh yeah, let's keep that going. Show us the Gulf oil tankers. Show us. Show us those tankers. Show us the Gulf oil. Inflation and the Iran war. Democrats are bursting the nuns again. In God we trust. Trump needs a more ambitious ballroom on Iran. Nobody knows anything at all. Nobody knows what it's like to be M-M-M-M-I-D-I-W. I-W-W-W-W. M-M-I-W. A-E-I-O-U. Well, we had a passing of a Bronx legend, a hip hop legend, and before we go into the next section, the exchange section of the journal, get ready for a record here. Get ready for a record. Let's do this. Africa Bambaataa, the hip hop legend, one of the hip hop greats. For me, I put him up there on a kind of a Mount Rushmore of kind of a branch of hip hop. Grandmaster Flash, Bambaataa, Kool Herc, those kind of guys. M-M-I-W, Bambaataa. 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 Africa Bambaataa. Bronx cat. This one's for you. Let's see what's going on here. Africa Bambaataa. Just do a quick search in what people are saying. Yep, here we go. Oh, that's Jack White. That's Jack White. Okay, there's our guy there. Wait, no. We'll get there. All right, there we go. There's our guy. There's our guy. There is our guy. All right. He's an American disc jockey, born in the Bronx. Bronx, boogie down, boogie down, boogie down, Bronx. Lance Taylor, known professionally as Africa Bambaataa. was an American disc jockey, rapper, record producer, notable for releasing a series of genre-defining electro tracks in the 80s. Bambaataa was one of the originators of breakbeat DJing, Soul Sonic Force.
No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now.
Can't stop, won't stop.
No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now.
Looking for the perfect beat.
No matter how hard you try,
Nope,
you can't stop
never.
us now.
Can't. Can't never stop it.
This atomic age. This atomic age for renegades. Renegades of this.
Let's go. Bambaataa doing it.
This atomic age before
There's a time and age for it. It's the time now. Do it. Weekend news wind down.
prehistoric ages and the days of ancient Greece on down to the Middle Ages. Planet Earth kept going to changes. Then the Renaissance came. Times continue to change. Nothing stayed the same, but there were always renegades. Like T-City Bull, Tom Hanks, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. They were renegades. Yes, the renegades. That time and age. Somebody renegade. Now hand clap. The renegade. From a different solar system, many, many galaxies away, we are the force of another creation, a new musical revelation. And we're on this musical mission to help the others listen. In group from land to land, singing electronic chants like astrology, like technology, like creation, like civilization, like revelation, destroy all nations. Like inheritance, like balance, like nothing stays the same. A renegade. Way out, a bunga. Way out, way out. Way out. Way out, way out, a bunga. Way out, way out. Yes, some more. Renegades are the people with their own philosophies. They change the course of history. Everyday people like you and me, you know. In time is an endless motion. In this 20th century, you have to think of it, son. State of mind and a sense of pride. Renegade. Yes, renegade. At this time is age. Somebody renegade. What's that? Now hand clap. Now renegade.
Yeah. Rock, shock, when it's time to hip hop. Hip hop, shock, rock, when it's time to hip hop. Pop a shock, rock, when it's time to hip hop. Poppin', shockin', rockin', and put the sock to hip. It's hot. Pop a shock, rock, when it's time to hip hop. Papa shaka rocket with a sound of hip hop.
We're going, there ain't no stopping.
Popping, shocking, rocking, and put the renegades of funk.
We feature shot the funk and let an MC popping. We bless it with the fuss and the sound of
Electronic.
and the tempo. The horns and our vocals, you know, every time we're popping to the beat. There was a time when our music was
Something called a Beat Street beat.
together from all around to get down on the big sound. You had to be a renegade those days to take a man on the dance floor like Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force. We're talking about Mr. B. How wow, Globe was a renegade.
Yes, a
Of the
renegade.
time and age.
Somebody renegade.
Now hand clap. Now renegade. Just jam, sucker. Say jam, sucker. Say groove, sucker. Say groove, sucker. Say dance, sucker.
Dance, sucker.
Say dance,
Dance, sucker.
say dance, sucker.
Dance, sucker.
Move, sucker. Say dance, sucker. Say dance, sucker. Now move, sucker. Now move, sucker. Now move, sucker. Now move, sucker. Dance, sucker. Say groove, sucker. Say dance, sucker. Dance, sucker. Now move, sucker. Now move, sucker. Now move, sucker. Now move, sucker.
Yeah, Bambaataa. BX in the house. BX. Bambaataa. BAMBATQ. BXQIA. Man. Damn. Damn. Yeah. Take that. Take that weekend news. Better be the phone. Bambaataa. Bam. Wow, it's better. It's a weekend news wind down. Renegade, we the renegades of news. Of funk. Damn, Bambaataa doing the damn thing. Okay. Move on. Oh, billionaire. Let's take more regular people's attention because billionaire Bill Ackman was worth about $2 million. Oh, wish I had a crybaby sound effect. Get over it. Get over yourself. Why Ferrari is unlike any other luxury brand. Ferrari. Dr. Bronner's head loves speaking out. Investments for uncertain times. Want to know about investing? There it is. Wall Street readers share tips for switching to an EV. If you thought about switching, let's hear it. How much EV you need? Watch for hidden costs. Buy used and get a meaty home charger. Know the range in cold weather. And don't abandon gasoline. Here's a tip. Use the old-fashioned vehicle for road trips or weekends at friends' houses and the EV for everything else. Big farmers turn into China. Here's some numbers here. Insurers take bigger risks than before 2008-2009 crisis. See the Business Watch. Of course. Tailback EV. CoreWeave partnership with Anthropic. Alibaba. AI video generator tops global list. Oh gosh, are those using Nvidia chips? Are you kidding me? Oh, what the heck? What the heck? Carmack, 2 board members added. And they actually, ironically, drive bicycles. They don't even own a car. Oh, what the heck happened there? I mean, we just got reset. All right, let's keep going. Okay. U.S. stocks roared back this week. All right, baby. Don't sleep on America. Never, ever, ever bet against America. We may have some crazy presidents and some sleepy ones and some tremendous ones. But never bet against America, baby. American people. Meta banks on AI to clear the smoke of social media lawsuits. How a jar of Nutella landed in space. Oh, that's so cool. They have that video of it just floating. I have an image of that for my images of the week. That's a quick little scroll through that. I want to play another nice, beautiful record. I think it's a really just gosh darn very nice. Good guy from Michigan playing music. His name is Jack. You might know him from the White Stripes, but he's done a whole lot of other great stuff. Okay. And here's a new one from him. He's a heck of a guy. He's a Michigan guy. Okay. This is Jack White. And I really love this record. This one's called G.O.D. and the Broken Ribs. Gosh darn it. It's a real catchy name of a song. It's out now. And I think he's playing in New York in maybe June or July. Gosh, I might go check him out. Here is Jack White, Michigan's own, and a real Detroit Lions fan. G.O.D. and the Broken Bones, Jack White.
Welcome to the Garden of Eden. Welcome to the Garden of Eden. There's nobody here but me and you. So what we're gonna be eating? Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Looks like we got a little bass to do the things we need to do now. And it'll sound like this. Welcome to the end of the world. Yeah, nobody left but one boy and one girl and one other. But you know we can't live like a sister and a brother. They're gonna make you a straight. And I gotta get out, gotta find a way to eat the fruit from the tree of fate. When it tastes like where we came from, where we gonna go. I for one doesn't know. So join me, guys, sing. We got watch me walk, and then I stroll, and it's your telephone talk. Then you scroll, and it's watch me rock. And then I roll, baby, and it's let me out, let me shout. Right from my soul, with salt and coal. Now listen to me roll with it. Ring that bell, then ring your neck. Write yourself a dime novel and then write yourself a check. Send yourself to hell in a handbasket. Now what the heck? I'm a penny dreadful and a frozen Charlotte and I make some more sense. Well, it's the beginning of the world now, and there's nobody left but one boy and one girl now. Let's start again. Let's do it again now. Let's start again. Yeah.
That was told you that was a hit. Damn, that was really good. Got me all excited. I was actually having a chat. This is perfect timing. I was having a chat with someone at work, with a colleague at work, and saying, "My God, how remarkable it is that North Korea is still fucking in power." Pardon my French. Here's a surprising source of North Korea's enduring power. Uh, just think about it. Cuba barely hanging on. Soviet Union dead. Worst communist countries finished. Who's still around? Communist Party of China that runs a capitalist system. Maybe similar story in Vietnam. Who else is out there like this? This North Korea is still going. One of the world's most isolated, misunderstood countries was built on the cult of personality of its eternal leader. American Christianity helped shape that cult? What? Here he is, amazing guys, amazing Kims. Like, what is that country? They're like just south of them. They're kin. South Korea. My God, their lives have improved so much. What a place! Oh my God. Reverend Billy Graham with Kim Il Sung in 1992. The surprising source of North Korea's enduring power. The short history of world communism, North Korea has always stood apart. Stalin's Soviet Union is gone. Yeah. Mao Zedong's China has liberalized and integrated itself into the global economy, but not North Korea. In the 8 decades following World War II, gosh, the country carved a unique path among the nations of the former Soviet bloc as the one country that has endured, largely in the same mold in which it was fashioned under state founder Kim Il sung. Again, it's crazy how it still works. Today, North Korea is stronger than ever. In self imposed isolation, it has fortified its nuclear deterrent and vastly expanded its arsenal of intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of striking the U.S. mainland, making it virtually impervious to an external strike. Even as its longtime friends Venezuela, Iran, and Cuba are pushed to the brink by President Trump. How did that happen? Pyongyang's ruling Kim dynasty defied Soviet efforts to curb idealization of leaders and deftly navigated a vicious fight between its patrons in Moscow and Beijing, emerging as a lone, grim success story among the former socialist allies. Unlike China and Vietnam, it hasn't openly adopted key elements of the Western led economic order it once spurned. Unlike Cuba, it has become a major threat, one of the West's most consistently confounding geopolitical adversaries. Most crucially, Kim Il Sung. Oh, I can totally sense now Trump is gonna have to go after this guy next year. Trump is gonna go after this guy. He's gonna say, "What the hell? I'm out of here. It's a lame duck." Oh, look out, markets. You heard it here first. Saturday, April 11th. Next 2027 is the year of Kim. Oh my God. Look out, Kim. You're gonna be on the show. You're gonna be on the Trump show. Oh my God, you're finished. Most crucially, Kim Il sung built up an extraordinary cult of personality around himself that was durable enough to hand down to his son and then his grandson, the current leader Kim Jong un. Now, with Kim Jong un's daughter ever present at his side, the dynasty is positioned to stretch well beyond its 8 decades. Gosh. Although North Korea has relentlessly suppressed religion and vilified American missionaries, the origins of its hereditary cult are found in a surprising place. Protestant Christianity, and in particular postbellum American Presbyterianism, an unexpected invitation. In the fall of 1991, the American evangelist Billy Graham received an unexpected invitation from Pyongyang. It will be a great joy to welcome you to our church. Read the letter sent by leaders of North Korea's state sanctioned Protestant and Catholic churches. As much as any one person could be said to embody 20th century American Christianity, Graham, America's pastor, was it. Then at age 73, he had preached the gospel before an estimated 215 million people in crusades that spanned from New York's Madison Square Garden to Moscow's Bolshoi Theater. Whoa. Graham was accustomed to preaching in peculiar settings, including several trips he made behind the Iron Curtain at the height of the Cold War. Even so, the invitation from Pyongyang was unusual. Unlike East Germany, Poland, and the other communist bloc countries, North Korea hadn't showed any signs of buckling. Kim Il sung had ruled without interruption for nearly half a century. Jeez. While Nikita Khrushchev has systematically dismantled Stalin's cult of personality in the 50s and Deng Xiaoping had curbed the excesses of Mao worship in the late 70s, in North Korea, Kim Il sung's power seemed only to grow with time. What? How did he do it? In portraits in homes and classrooms, and photographs on the front page of the country's main party newspaper on lapel badges pinned over citizens' hearts. He won over our hearts. Kim's image became synonymous with the state, and he was omnipresent. In plaques at factories commemorating his visits, in hymns of praise sung by school children, and the white cloth draped over subway seats where he'd once been seated, where no one could ever sit again. Oh my God. What is this place? Foreign visitors to North Korea were shocked to see the country's leader hailed as nothing less than a god. State media regularly applauded citizens who, amid earthquakes or floods, laid down their lives to protect sacred images of Kim Il sung. After floods swept one rural county, North Korea's state controlled news agency recounted the exhumation of corpses from the silt. Found out in their bosom were portraits wrapped in vinyl sheets to prevent them from being spoiled by water. Whoa! The campaign to glorify him, wrote one biographer in 1988, had surpassed fanatic religious fervor. The North Korean son of the nation shines both day and night, and it is hard to escape his ubiquity. To ensure complete devotion, North Korea spent decades stamping out rival faiths, most notably Protestant Christianity, killing pastors and thousands of lay believers. Whoa. Mere possession of an unauthorized Bible could mean imprisonment? What the heck kind of country is this? Trump. Trump. 2027. Make it Kim's year. As North Korea's hagiographers, hagiographers rewrote history, they held American missionaries responsible for the country's misfortunes, while state-sponsored novels, plays, and museums depicted them as jackals who subjected Koreans to vile human experiments. Kim sought to portray himself as the true Messiah, displacing Christ as the benevolent Son of the world. People of the world, if you are looking for a miracle, come to Korea. Christians do not go to Jerusalem, come rather to Korea. Do not believe in God, believe in great man. Even by the standards of the world's foremost itinerant minister, Reverend Graham was puzzled by the invitation. In Beijing, just 2 days before boarding his flight to Pyongyang, Graham told reporters that he still didn't understand the North Korean overture. But he knew it was maybe God calling. The preacher pleaded ignorance, but Pyongyang was a familiar place for the Graham family. In the 30s, his wife, Ruth Bell Graham, had attended high school there on a sprawling Presbyterian mission compound on Pyongyang's west side. What? Missionary kids like Ruth attended school there amid some of North Korea's earliest and most prestigious Western institutions. Its first missionary run high school, college, and modern hospital, as well as the Presbyterian seminary, the world's largest? What? Then there were the churches, none greater than Pyongyang's Central Presbyterian Church, which was so packed each week with congregants that missionaries feared the walls will begin to bulge out. Wednesday evening prayer meetings could draw crowds of 1,400 people. The city of Pyongyang became so dominated by Christians that it acquired a nickname the Jerusalem of the East. What? In the 1930s? By the time Reverend Graham boarded his plane in the spring of '92, the Jerusalem of the East was no more. The devastation of the Korean War and decades of Kim Il sung's rule had systematically wiped out the churches and Christian schools, driving 300,000 Christian believers in the north into hiding or across the 38th parallel to the U.S. back south. That historic exodus helped turn South Korea into a stronghold of the Christian faith and one of the world's biggest exporters of missionaries. Wow, that's fascinating. Meanwhile, Pyongyang became staunchly religious in its own way, with symbols and rituals that revolve around one man. Despite its peculiarities, it was immediately apparent to visitors like Reverend Graham that the ideology and imagery of the system Kim Il sung had erected had much in common with Christianity. Shortly after arriving in Pyongyang, Billy Graham visited a humble thatched hut on the outskirts of Pyongyang where Kim was said to have been born on April 15, 1912. The pastor and his delegation could only shake their heads at the similarities to the other faith that had once dominated the city. All they're missing are the manger and the three wise men. At the time of Reverend Graham's trip, the world had witnessed the fall of several socialist states, and to many observers, it was only a matter of time before the anachronism in Pyongyang was swept into the dustbin of history. But unlike its peers, Kim Il sung had built a personality cult robust enough to be passed on to successive generations. A lot of pressure on those kids. You gotta be a star, man. While North Korea may have started out extolling Leninist ideas, it later removed portraits of Marx and Lenin from Kim Il sung Square in central Pyongyang. By the '80s, Marx and Lenin were quoted by North Koreans primarily to blame the ideology as an incomplete theory which failed to find a solution to world affairs. Wow. Instead, Kim Il sung supplemented and eventually replaced Marxism Leninism with the Chuchi ideology, a philosophy that the great leader Kim Il sung was known, is said to have begun developing as a 14-year-old revolutionary. Though Chuchi, sometimes spelled Juch, is typically described as an ideology of self reliance, it was replete with quasi religious overtones, so much so that one scholar dubbed it the Gospel of Chuchi. What? It wasn't enough for Kim Il sung to have a revolutionary ideology of his own. As a great leader entered the twilight of his life, ever more grandiose tributes were heaped on the man. He seems to have been called by every honorary title imaginable. The country's leading novelist, philosopher, educator, designer, agricultural experimenter, AI architect, AI agent, general, and ping pong trainer. After Kim's death in '94, his son and successor, Kim Jong il, made his father North Korea's eternal president, allowing him to rule in perpetuity over a country that had in effect become one with its founder. These developments, which looked so little like communism and so much like religion, appalled Kim Il sung's former socialist backers, especially because it resembled a religion that had once held a firm grip on Northern Korea. Whoa, amazing. Oh, my colleague is going to love this. A front row seat to the power of faith. Although Kim would later obscure and distort the impact Christianity had on its thinking, in hindsight, its imprint on its life is unmistakable. In America, Presbyterians preached salvation from sin through the grace of a merciful God. But they also taught a message of equality of all people before God, a radical idea when it was introduced to Korea in the late 19th century. These tenets were embraced with the unusual fervor by Koreans in the country's northwest, especially in and around Pyongyang, where the future North Korean leader came of age in a Christian bubble. Yeah, for sure. He's totally influenced by it. Kim Il sung's upbringing gave the young man a front row seat to the power of faith. Oh, he could totally see it. He could totally see it and then take and run with it. Oh, yeah. Its power to mobilize, inspire, awe, devotion, fear, or zeal. More than money, power, or fame, faith alone could speak to one's eternal fate. Wow. totally inspired by it. When Kim Il Sung had was catapulted into power at the end of World War II, he began crafting a state that consciously or unconsciously drew on the ideological heritage his family had received from Presbyterian missionaries. He demanded faith and even worship from his followers, creating a belief system that was redolent of the Christian teachings and practices that he had been raised with. Unbelievable. Wow. Jimmy Carter, the former U.S. president and longtime Sunday school teacher who traveled to Pyongyang in 1994 to meet Kim Il sung, was struck by how much North Korea resembled the Branch Davidians, a Christian religious sect in Texas, whose standoff with U.S. federal agents had resulted in 86 deaths the year before. It's a society like the religious group at Waco. Wow. Followers of Kim Il sungism were called upon to study his works and memorize his aphorisms, the dust framed portraits that hung in the main room of every residence, and to bow in reverence before a statue on Kim's birthday, on New Year's Day, and on almost every other day of any significance, including one's graduation and wedding days. One North Korean who defected while studying in Poland in 1989 put it more succinctly. When I was in North Korea, I thought Kim Il sung was God. Whoa! Indeed, if Kim Il sungism were classified as a religion, it would be one of the world's largest, claiming roughly as many adherents as Judaism. For many North Koreans, it wasn't until they had left the country, in some cases on secret assignments on behalf of the great leader, that they first recognized the religiosity of the ideology they'd been raised in. One North Korean commando, captured during a daring 1968 mission to assassinate the South Korean president in Seoul, recalls the confusion he felt when first encountering Christianity. When they talked about God, it kept reminding me of Kim Il sung. Oh my God, he is so he is so influenced by it. Oh my God, that explains it. Kim Hyun-wee, a North Korean agent who helped blow up a South Korean jetliner in November 87 before being arrested and eventually converting to Christianity, went further in drawing a line between Christianity and Kim Il sungism. If you learn the Bible first and then learn Chuchi, you'll be able to understand it much easier. I think you can even replace the name Jesus with the name Kim Il sung. Wow, that is amazing. What a great story there. MAGA socialites, fabulous. Oh, Kanye, it's getting difficult to keep. It's more and more difficult to keep up with you, man. I don't even know what the heck's happening with you. Dear boys, looks maxing is a fool's errand. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, boys. Don't do it. Be yourselves. This is interesting. A civil war inside a group of chimps. The chimp cluster's success may have led to its violent downfall, a new study suggests. A rare and deadly civil war has broken out between two factions of chimpanzees in Africa. The dispute erupted in what was once a cohesive group of about 200 chimps, whose ties stretched back 2 decades. They were homies. They played video games. They smoked together. They drank together. They were real buds. It took 3 years, though, for them to turn on each other. We've known for a long time that chimpanzees will attack and kill their neighbors. It turns out they will do this even when those neighbors are former friends and allies. For 20 years, the Ngogo chimps of Uganda's Kibale National Park were living the good life by being together. They helped one another, dominated and killed apes from neighboring groups, expanded their territory, and boosted their babies' chances of survival. They listened to Joe Rogan. They were inspired by Pete Hegseth. They ate like Robert F. Kennedy ate. They were the strongest chimps. But in 2015, the group started splitting into two clusters. Several male chimps that had bridged cliques with the larger group died from disease, weakening social ties. Around the same time, a new alpha male rose to dominance. Changes in the dominance hierarchy can feel more aggression and tension. Whoa. As aggression escalated, the factions drifted into separate areas of the park. By 2018, the split was complete. The two groups had no remaining social or reproductive ties between them. The last chimp infant with parents from different groups was born in 2015. What was once the center of the group's territory became a border with which chimps patrolled. What the? Wow, these are really advanced creatures. Then the hostilities began in earnest. Whoa, they must be so advanced. Their brains are probably so big that they're almost acting with intelligence, but it's so simple. It's like some elevated or amplified animal reactions. It's not human yet, but members of the smaller of the two groups launched coordinated lethal attacks, and they called it Epic Fury on the other, aiming to kill rival adult males. By 2021, these raids had expanded to target bridges and power plants and the whole entire chimp civilization will die tonight. Wow, they're averaging several infant deaths a year since. More than 24 apes have died so far as a result of the conflict. The true death toll is probably higher, given there's so many chimps in a large area and they all look the same. You keep double counting, triple counting, Primatologist Jane Goodall observed that many have been in a similar split. Many have been a that may have that may, what may have been a similar split and subsequent violence among chimpanzees in Tanzania in the 70s. But the findings have long been debated because most of the observations were in an area where humans regularly fed the chimps, altering group makeup, size, and aggression. Yeah, and that food probably distorted them. With the Ngogo chimps, researchers are uncertain what prompted this split, but said it's possible the apes were victims of their own success. The group grew large, and even though resources were abundant, the chimps may have perceived increased competition for food and mates. The once smaller of the two chimp groups is now the larger one because its members have killed so many rivals. Two more lethal attacks were observed last year on males and two on infants. What the heck? Just look at these things. Oh, their brains must be so big, but they just haven't. Obviously, they're not acting like humans, but they're probably at this threshold where their brain is so big, and then through this group behavior, there must there must be something in their brain that's innate, that's triggering, or they're learning. So maybe they have something innate in them over time. They learn, probably not how humans learn, similar, but not there. So here with this kind of aggression and territory, patrolling a border in a way. Wow. Wow, what an advanced creature. Oh, look at this. Here's a yogi. Folan. Lilias Yoga and You. Lilias Folan. First Lady of Yoga helped Americans find inner peace. Okay, great. Namaste. Struggling with headaches and insomnia, she found her voice on public television and created a daily ritual for millions of stay at home moms. In 1974, Time magazine called Lilias Folan the Julia Child of Yoga, an irresistibly cheerful ambassador bringing the pleasures of a foreign culture to mainstream America via public TV. Poised on a colorful carpeted platform in a gleaming leotard with a hefty brown braid of hair falling over one shoulder, Olan would spend her program reaching, bending, breathing, and twisting her limbs. She was aspirationally fit but unthreatening and strikingly self assured. The Cincinnati Enquirer described her in 1976 as a woman who knows precisely where she's been, where she is, where she's going, and is in full control of all three. And most of all, she was welcoming. Whatever you wanted out of yoga, inner peace, less flap around the middle, a bit of calm before a big meeting with your boss was totally fine with her. All needs are important. You are important, she said. Full-on show Lilias Yoga and You made its debut in 1970 on WCET, WNWD. W WNWD, WNWD Radio, and WCET TV in Cincinnati. That's our affiliate, WNWD's affiliate in Cincinnati. 4 years later, was pulling an estimated 10 million regular viewers on more than 200 PBS stations nationwide. Wow. After production stopped following the 85 season, the show lived on in syndication alongside a series of books and videotapes. A 1987 reboot, Lilias Yoga, brought a braidless, more contemporary looking Folon back to the air in Cincinnati for an additional half dozen years. Wow. Old episodes still play on WCET 4 times a week. Thus, Folon, who died March 9th in the Cincinnati suburb of Loveland, at age 90, had a career that spanned yoga's ascendance in America from kooky seeming countercultural fascination to a centerpiece of a global $5.6 trillion wellness economy. What a visionary to take it to TV. And roughly 1 in 6 Americans now do yoga, according to the CDC. Liz Bouchard, a professor of religion at Northeastern University who chronicled Folan's rise as a first lady of yoga in a book being published later this month. Beyond Wellness credits Folan with making yoga as American as apple pie. Yeah, yoga's huge. I'm surprised we don't talk about Lilias as much as we talk about a lot of the Indian male gurus who popularized the yoga we have today. I agree. It's like you only hear about Iyengar or making yoga accessible, and especially making yoga the core of white women's wellness journeys in this country. Oh my gosh, you got it. She just saw it. Lilias Antoinette Moon was born on January 13, 1936 in Boston after her parents divorced. When she was 9, her childhood was marked by nearly unendurable feelings of isolation and low self-esteem. I was not wanted on the planet. It was painful. Hold on, told Cincinnati Magazine earlier this year. Her mother, Nora Goldsmith Moon, quickly remarried Colonel Pierpont Morgan Hamilton, a great great grandson of Alexander Hamilton and nephew of J.P. Morgan, and the couple immediately set Lilias and her brother to succession of boarding schools and summer camps. Wow.
According to Lilias' son, Matthew Folon, the only time Lilias would see her mother was at Christmas. She and Nora were like gasoline and fire. Wow. They were two alpha females. Only in Folon's late teens did she find a more nurturing home life with her father and stepmother in Katona, New York. Folon attended Bennington College for 2 years and then took off for Rome to study Italian art and Italian men in that order. Wow. Freaky. She told the Cincinnati Enquirer, but whatever I was looking for wasn't there. Returning to New York City, she met her husband, Robert Folon, an executive at a logistics firm, coordinating the shipment of raw materials around the world. He was practical and I wasn't. They married in 1959, 3 months after their first date. Folon is also survived by a second son, Michael. Bob Folon died in 2018. Folon would often describe her early years of marriage and motherhood in an idyllic white house in a tawny Connecticut suburb as looking blissful on the surface, but inside she was despondent. Beset by headaches and insomnia, listless and pudgy from overeating and smoking half a pack a day. A doctor recommended but exercise bored Folon until she read about yoga and was enticed by its spiritual dimension, the potential to tone one's inner life too. Folon started taking classes near her home, then in New York, where swamis from India were arriving to teach. Oh my god, this is so early. It was 1964. Yoga was only just materializing on the fringes of American culture. Oh my god, this is so alien. Must have been so alien. Influential books by an Indra Devi had been published in the 1950s, and out in California, a man named Richard Hiddleman was teaching it on local TV. But Folon was a serious and energetic student. She began seeking out new teachers and finding her guru, Sri Swami Chidananda, at a yoga center in upstate New York. Would travel abroad periodically to study with him. Right away, the effect on her body and well-being astounded her. It gave me more than a trim figure. Wow, before she'd been hiding behind facades, physically overfed and spiritually undernourished. Now she was bold and free. Oh wow. What a what a cure. That stability was upset, however, when Folon's husband's career forced her to move to Cincinnati in '68. Marooned in an unfamiliar city with no social ties, Folon taught yoga at a local YMCA. One of her regular students, Meryl Gurion, was the wife of a public television producer, Len Gurion, and pitched in the idea for a show. Brilliant! Folon was already a phenomenon locally. 1969 Cincinnati Post profile called her Cincinnati's groovy guru and described quite crassly hundreds of homemakers embracing her classes as a potent cure for the same discontentment that had driven Folon to yoga herself. TBHS, tired, bored housewife syndrome. Wow. Folon's star rose quickly. She appeared in Vogue and People magazines on national programs like The Today Show and The Mike Douglas Show, and traveled to teach around the country as far afield as Australia and Moscow. In 1979, she was the centerpiece of a memorable scene in Being There, in which Peter Sellers, watching Lilias Yoga and You in bed, rises obliviously into a headstand while Shirley MacLaine, attempting to seduce him, masturbates theatrically on the floor. Lilias Yoga and You aired on weekday mornings before Sesame Street, thus easily catching the attention of stay-at-home moms. Folon's sunny personality and unintimidating teaching style normalized yoga for those women, who in turn normalized it for their children. For some unquantifiable share of Gen Xers and millennials, yoga was never exotic or silly, just something they saw their moms do every morning with that beautiful woman on TV while they waited for Big Bird to come on instead. Basically, you saw Lilias as Lilias was. In addition to her naturalness on camera, Folon just happened to be preternaturally good at technical aspects of shooting a 30-minute show. Generally, he said, she moved through each session in a single take. She had a clock in her head. Though Falan had studied with swamis for whom yoga was a religious practice, she didn't emphasize those aspects to her audiences. She told Cincinnati Magazine that she nevertheless received letters scolding her for teaching the work of the devil. Approachability was important to her. She described looking at the red light over the camera in WCET's studio and seeing within its glow a viewership that might range from the ages 14 to 80 and encompass every conceivable cranny of American society. Because I go into the fields of Nebraska, the mountains of Colorado, and the snows of Alaska, I have to be practical, usable, and reachable. From sea to shining sea. The benefits of yoga, she felt, were especially valuable to the kind of busy mainstream American who might be most inclined to dismiss it. Most of our lives are spent in hurry up. I tried to give you the feeling that you have all the time in the world, she told the Louisville Courier Journal. Pretty good. Pretty good kind of feeling of or understanding of a yoga practice that that's all you're focusing on right there at that time. That's what your time is about. About being there and you have all the time in the world during this session. It's a time in a yoga session is contained. It's controlled and it's contained. Ultimately, fame didn't leave much of an impression on Folon. Her son Matthew explained that she was just as content teaching ordinary in-person classes at yoga studios and churches around Cincinnati long after that fame had peaked and gone away. For her, it was all very innocent with a really simple purpose. Maybe that's why it works so well. Wow. This is great. Wow. He's a real looker. Hubba, hubba. Oh, that's a great picture. Those are some great pictures. And let's go ahead and paint the picture here with the excellent, another excellent cut from the excellent, amazing, maybe the greatest live album in the world history. Oh no, wrong band. I'll play them later. Here we go again. These are our guys. Maybe not the greatest band ever, but could be. Never know. It could possibly be the Hives. The greatest live band in the history of live bands. Let me paint a picture for you here. And I'll play Paint a Picture by the Hives.
Stay fucked up and I don't regret it now. Bow down to the mayor.
Dang. 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 That's how you paint the picture. By Leonardo da Vinci Hives. Pablo Picasso and the Hives. Picture painters. Let's catch up over here with this cat over here. He's really a modern philosopher. Guy's so thoughtful. Killed it again this week. Called The Tragedy of Leisure by John Ganesh, citizen of nowhere from the Financial Times. Here are the major events in the life of this columnist during the past 12 months. These are major things that happened to the author, this author here. He's had a change of a broadband provider, a sinus problem behind the left eyebrow, creeping doubts about Martin Zubimendi's press resistance in midfield, more evenings spent in West London than in the previous 40 years combined, the discovery of the writings of Harvard science historian Stephen Chopin, acute disappointment with Berlin Brandenburg Airport. If this seems uneventful, I would append the opening of a global all cap equities individual savings account. This lack of stress, the result of childlessness and working hours that are less than staccanovite, is not common. But it might be common in the future. If so, expect trouble. Remember, it is not just AI that promises to free human beings from having to do too much. It is the declining birth rate, too. At the century's midpoint, the average person would be someone with no need to work and just one child. A lot will then hinge on how a species wired for scarcity takes to unprecedented comfort. The record is not encouraging. Working hours have declined across the West since 1950, even since 2000. Yet electorates have grown angrier. Other factors intervene, of course. Immigration has upset people, but a huge increase in leisure from shorter working weeks, from smaller families, from labor saving tech should have been a force for general contentment. Instead, it seems to have had two perverse effects. First, it raises expectations. In a low stress life, what little stress that does occur is all the harder to accept. I know. There are people who just like lose it if they can't get lunch in like 2 minutes. If they have to wait. I walked out of a Starbucks because somebody didn't ask me for a coffee in like a minute. Then I gotta go. I have no time. Then I had to go to the next coffee place next door. I said, no, they take too long. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Gotta wait 2 minutes for a coffee. Hence our hair trigger reaction to governmental failures that our grandparents would have shrugged off. Oh, I hate that airport. Oh, it's like, God, you can like travel all around the world and you travel, and then it's like this airport doesn't even have like a decent place to grab a coffee. Oh, you have to like sit somewhere where there aren't like couches. Oh, I hate that airport. I hate that I can get to some place around the fucking planet in like 12 hours. Oh, but I hate the airport. Our grandparents were saddling up their horses. It take 2 weeks to go like 20 miles. Also, leisure means more time for the mind to wander down undesirable corridors. The internet has a few, yeah. The dark web. The result, and there is no unprovable political hunch of which I am more convinced, is modern populism. I get it. I agree. I agree. People who have everything are just crying about something. I totally agree. This guy's spot on again. Hit the nail on the head again. It's a movement born of ease, not just of pain. If it were otherwise, a reaction to elite incompetence and folk being let down, it should have erupted in the mid 20th century amid the devaluations, the botched conscript wars, the exodus from great cities. Instead, it took off during a time of low inflation, falling crime, and tech enabled convenience. Oh, God. I have to wait like 20 minutes for my DoorDash driver. Oh, God. I'm pissed. A movement that can huff and puff about Western civilization is tacitly conceding that a lot of earthly demands have been met. It is not just liberalism that can be described as a set of luxury beliefs. If I am right, and the political chaos of this era owes something to leisure, then it follows that we should fear the future. Keynes did. He said that people would work 15 hours a week in the world of 2030, and that so much leisure would constitute a new kind of task for us. He failed to see that we would choose to consume more rather than work less. But if we push the time frame out to 2050, he could be vindicated, and then some. When he wrote, there were 2 births per woman in Britain. That hasn't been the case for half a century. With all those liberated hours, perhaps people will throw themselves into intellectual self-cultivation and companionship. It is just that we have the evidence from several decades in which leisure has been spreading. We did not all become untanned. Some become paranoid, or just over political. Anyone with parents who worked all hours, immigrant or not, will know that what kept them balanced was literally not having the time to reflect on things. Don't let me romanticize that world. The rise of leisure was a humane and hard-won achievement, but life wouldn't be life without perverse outcomes. And I sense that most people are not conscious of how leisure trips them up. To have lots of executive time without going astray takes a certain kind of temperament. I seem to have it, and don't propose to work harder or acquire parental duties. The rest of you, different matter. I instruct you to keep up the grind. A gaping diary is a dangerous thing. Very nice. All right, we'll close out this week with maybe for America's 250. Let's count it down and play some American theme music to end the show. Thanks all for the great show. Another one. Saturday, April 11th. This is the Alabama Shakes, who I think have been out of it for a while and getting back together now. So here are the Alabama Shakes with American Dream. So America's 250th birthday. Here's the American Dream, baby. This one's for you. Oh, let me paint a picture. We can use wind down. We can use wind down. Let's go for it. If you do these things, look at that. Oh, here's the celebration. 250 America, 250, baby. The American Dream.
I thought we wanted the same things. I must be dreaming. Love. Thank you.